Welcome back to the NIL podcast. I'm your host, Jermaine Dixon, here with my brothers LeVance Fields, Gary McGee, and tonight we got a special guest, one Georgetown's own, Chris Wright's in the building. If you watch Chris play, you know it wasn't just about highlights. He had high IQ, toughness, showed up in the biggest games. We're going to get into everything, coming up in D.C., playing that Georgetown grind, the Big East pressure, and what life is like at the college hoops. So this is going to be a good one right here. Chris Wright is in the building. Appreciate you for coming on with us, bro.
Appreciate y'all having me, man. Appreciate y'all.
C. Wright was good, bro.
Yeah, so
It's good, C. Wright.
Ain't too much. Good to see y'all, man.
07.
It's been a long time. It's been a long time.
Definitely been a while. Yeah, we got some good stuff to talk about too. You know, we gonna get. But first, I wanted to ask you. I know you started basketball at a young age. What was your first memory of playing basketball?
First memory of hooping. It got to be against my brother. You know, I got an older brother, so anything he was doing, he's 4 years older than me. So anything he was doing, I was trying to do. You know, that was kind of how he played basketball. So I'm gonna play basketball. He played football. I'm gonna play football. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the oldest child, and everybody else is the soldiers. You just fall in line. You know, so that's what he was doing, and he was one of those guys that was like a superior athlete early. You know, run fast, everybody jump higher than everybody. So my first kind of athletic anything was to beat him or compete with him. So that was my first understanding was playing against my brother.
Now, a lot of people, most people, when they think of DC, PG, all that, they just say DC. Where exactly are you from?
I'm from PG County originally. From Temple Hills, and then we moved out to Bowie. Then I went to high school in DC, high school and college in DC. So I went through K through 8 in PG County, Maryland, and all that stuff. By the time I got to high school, I was in the city from 9th grade until I moved out. And I'm still here now, you know what I'm saying? So I've been in the city since then.
When did you realize that, you know what I'm saying, basketball was gonna be the thing for you? Like when did that like come to your mind? Like
early, probably like 10, 11 years old. We always was like my guys was pretty good. We were a pretty good team. AAU, we won a championship at 10. You know, so we kind of had like early success with that. I had some guys that was athletes in other sports that was doing good stuff, like All-Americans or like ranked high or people thought of early. And I think about around like 10, 11, I kind of knew I had a chance to be, you know, they'd be picking you first all the time. Shit, you know? Guess I'm all right at this, you know what I mean? They were like, oh yeah, we want him. I guess I can, you know what I mean? So it was kind of like that. And that shit, I don't know. That's how I kind of knew.
From there, like you said, you had an older brother 4 years older than you, to pick you back off with G at you, basically. From there, you also knew about like going to college for free. Was that already on your mind too, or you just was loving to play in the game? You was just still having fun and just enjoying the game?
Nah, I didn't think about it like that. You know, at that point, it was never a thing. You looked at it just as somewhere to get to, but I never, you know, college was never on my mind. You know what I'm saying? You trying to win Potomac Valley AAU regional tournament. You know what I'm saying? You trying to win whatever. Look, I ain't thinking about none of that. You know, the biggest thing that you remember at that time is like Maryland versus Duke, you know, in your head and stuff like that. Right, man? You know what I'm saying? You remember that time? Like you don't keep your, like other than that, ain't no real, you ain't thinking about going to college though. You don't really think about actually going to Maryland or going to, you know, schools like that. So nah, I ain't never. It was really just more local stuff, like Glen Hardin versus Silver Hill.
I tell people all the time, we got ACC games, so we always watching Maryland, Duke, North Carolina. We see those.
Yeah, we see that all the time. Wake, Tech, all that, you know. So we used to see all those games. NC State. That was more like our NBA a lot of times when you see those games.
So your AAU team, the age you came up with, it's a lot of y'all. I mean, I know KD and them, they 06. They 06 KD. They Ty Lawson. You was with Austin.
Yeah, it was me, Austin, Nolan, Smith. Remember Adrian Bowie?
Yeah.
Maryland. There's a couple other guys. You remember Big Sean Hawkins?
Yeah. Sean was tough.
Big Sean. So Sean was like, when we was in the 8th grade, this is like when we were 8th grade, Sean was like 6'5", You know what I'm saying? Like 6'5", about 250, a big young. Ended up playing like 1 year, going, getting scholarships to play every school in football and all that. But he was like one of the top dogs. And what was the question on? What'd you say about?
No.
that
So
time?
I was asking you who did you play with? You got into it, and did they help mold your game?
Yeah. And then you know who else was big on that was Navarro Bowman, who played in the
Navarro
NFL.
Bowman. Mm-hmm.
Navarro was like that at basketball.
Yeah.
Like he was tough. You know what I'm saying? People don't even like. He was tough.
Mm-hmm.
He was starting on varsity in football and basketball as a freshman. You know what I'm saying? And and he was an impact player. You know, but he shaped because he's tough. He's physical. He gonna make you work.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't getting in certain spots. So we had those type of competitive games, and then once I got to like DC Assault, you started to play against all the older guys too. You know what I mean? You started playing against James Whites and the DJs, DeMar Johnsons, and then everybody else local that come in the gym. So that's kind of how it was growing up for real. We got a lot of talent over there. Like y'all though, same as everybody where everybody else is from.
NYC,
I'm
you can say
saying.
NYC. You know what I mean? NYC.
Yeah, where y'all from? Y'all from? Yeah.
No, you play with DC Assault. Didn't you play with Boo Williams too?
Yeah, so my first 2 years I played with Assault. It was playing with Mike and Nolan, Varro, I played with DC Assault. But then my last 2 years I played with Boo. I played with Boo Williams.
I had a squad.
Yeah, Boo was tough.
Y'all was down there in Peace Jam. I remember playing y'all in Peace Jam.
Why did you change?
So when I was coming up, Mike, you gotta remember that time I'm probably 5'8", 5'9", you know what I'm saying? Mike and them, they 6 feet, 6'1", Mike 6'4", 6'5".
Mm-hmm.
Nolan 6'1" with a size 18 sneaker, for real, no good. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was kind of like, who you gonna invest in at that time?
Right.
And I don't even think it was nothing personal. I just think the way it was. And then we had a couple guards that was older, so we 13 playing 17. It's a couple guys at 16.
Was Ray Brewer playing with y'all?
Ray was playing, yeah. Ray was there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So we had and it was some nice guards. It wasn't like it was some dudes that was so. I think it was just best for me to go somewhere else because I ain't go nowhere else to start. Because I went somewhere else to just for a different circumstance where I could play more. Like I went to Boo Williams. I came off the bench. You know what I'm saying? I came off the bench at Boo. They had Scotty Reynolds. They had Eric Hayes, Stephon Welsh. You remember Steph Welsh? He went to Arkansas.
Yeah, coaching right now.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, those three guys. Yeah, me and Gravis Vasquez came off the bench.
Y'all was stacked.
Told you that team was crazy.
Yeah.
So you were saying that y'all watched ACC
so now I went over
games.
to Boo the last 3 years.
Y'all was saying you said you was watching ACC games growing up. How you end up going to a Big East school?
That's crazy. That's a crazy question because I ain't want to go to Georgetown at all, because Georgetown was some trash growing up. You know what I'm saying? It was garbage, And my pops is from the Bronx, and he was a big Georgetown fan from the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Like he grew up on the Hoys and going to the Garden. So, you hear all them stories, and it's like crazy. I'm like, how the hell? You from New York, right? But you like Georgetown and you like St. John's. You know what I'm saying? I ain't understand that because you like Walter Berry and Chris Mullen and this, that, and the third, but you like the Georgetown. It's like, what? That shit don't make no sense. But that's what it was for him. You know what I'm saying? The Georgetown thing kind of got, started moving. And then around the time when you was in school, LeVance is when they started getting good. You know what I mean? They started when you was like early in your or like freshman, they started getting a little better. You know what I'm saying? And then so they progressed. And at the time, it seemed like the right thing. And Georgetown was actually interesting because it was actually the system that was being run in the NBA that people don't really understand. Shit, that was a system that Jason Kidd ran in New Jersey when they went to the finals with Eddie Jordan. That was a system that the Sacramento Kings ran with Mike Bibby and Doug Christie and Chris Webber and all that. That was a system that was prevalent in the NBA. That was a system that Gilbert Arenas averaged 30 with in DC. You know what I'm saying? It was just sped up. So in my mind, I'm like, all right,
you get to get to
we
it.
could do something with it. You know what I mean? Hindsight.
What other schools was you looking at? What was you down to in like your finalist, I should say? I mean, you was a top recruit, McDonald All-American. So I know he had to have all of them on you.
It came down to, but I was an East Coast kid. I wasn't going nowhere. It came down to Wake Forest, Nova, State, NC State, Pittsburgh, and Georgetown. LeVance, no. That's why he left.
LeVance,
you was going to commit, man. You came on a visit.
Everything.
What we gotta hear about this
Yeah,
visit. What
I didn't know
happened?
about. I didn't know about this.
Oh, y'all don't know about the
Didn't
visit?
know.
I came up there. He
Uh-uh.
came through. Oh,
Lee told me you came on a visit. He told me, but he didn't go into
I
detail.
was committed, bro. I was committed. I was committed.
That's what I'm thinking when he needs
Because
it.
my man was there.
DC.
Yeah, for real. Like everybody. Yeah, my man is there. Yeah, David Cox, he was there. So that's how I kind of got involved up there. And I came up there and I loved it. I was kicking with them. We had a ball. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just loved everything. It was it. You know what I'm saying? It's hilarious.
So how you didn't end up at Pitt?
They gave him a bag or something, man. I don't understand.
Oh, you got
NIL. They threw him an NIL.
You know Dixon ain't giving out no bags.
And he was leaving.
Nah,
We
hell
got
nah.
him. We good. We got Chris.
Yeah, nah, for real. It seemed like a done deal. But then, you know, you people get, man, hold on, don't commit yet. Don't woo, this, that, and that. I'm like, man, I like it over there though. Like I promise you, real talk. I always talk about. I'm like, man, Pitt was a nice situation. I always said that. Because I wasn't really familiar with how Pitt was before I went up there. I ain't know about it. You know, I remember Carl, you know, I remember the guards and some of the stuff. I remember my man throwing up the X a long time ago and all that, but I ain't really, Pitt was never registered until I went up there. I was like, oh shit, Jim Nice is on or what? You know what I'm saying? They got practice facilities and all that shit. Is crazy. You know, so I remember that, and I remember all the guards, and then Sam was there too. You know, so that it was really, Pitt was high, for real,
So-
like real
so-
high. My parents know everybody.
No, go ahead. Keep going.
Go ahead.
So if you was thinking about going to Pitt, right? And obviously you choose Georgetown. But LeVance is there as a point guard. Would you plan on, was they having you come in as a point guard? Like, would you come in like I'm ready to play, or was that on your mind?
Take LeVance spot. Fuck was about to happen. Take me spot. Hell no. So the situation was, for real, the situation was him and Ronald Ramon was the backcourt. You know what I'm saying? So I would have been behind them for a year. I would have been, you know, I would because Ramon, I think Ramon had one more year, something like that. Oh, I don't know exactly what it was, but it would have been one more year, and they was playing
Yeah, it was
well.
one more year.
Yeah,
It was one of his 40. Yeah, so, and I remember Jamie and all them, and even I was like, yeah, but that's, you know, so I would have waited, you know, I would have played, but I would have been behind them, and which was cool. I was ready. I was doing the same thing at Georgetown, like my freshman year. It wasn't about that. That's what I'm saying. Starting and all that wasn't that big a deal. I knew I was gonna get on the court, you know, I was gonna get a chance to play. It wasn't coming in and starting. It wasn't really no schools that I was coming in and starting for real. Too many schools, because everybody was nice. That was a hell of a time period with guards, man. Crazy.
Yeah, the Big
Like,
East.
crazy.
The Big East was,
What? Man, and
So
ACC
then-
was crazy. Everything was crazy.
I had another one. So then you end up staying. You playing home. Now you playing in DC. What was the pressure like
Right.
on that? That had to be a lot of pressure on you staying home.
Man, I was hyped to stay home, so I ain't really look at it as
Okay.
pressure. You know what I'm saying? That shit is you at the crib, bro. Everybody get to see you
Mhm.
all the time. So like, what? You know what I'm saying? Everybody see you since you 8 years old. What? You excited? You can't wait to get to the court. You know, so it wasn't. I didn't look at it like that. You know, you don't think about that. And then when you in the game, I got to deal with you. I got to deal with you. I got to deal with y'all three. I ain't thinking about I can't focus on nothing else. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't work like that. So I think people sometimes you got to have a different personality. You got to have a different type of, you know, confidence in
different
yourself to
mindset.
stay home.
Yeah, different mindset.
Yeah, you got to have a little different mindset to do that, you know, and maintain that. And I think some guys are figuring that out. But, you know, for me, I embraced it. You know, it was home. You know, I had no problem with it. I enjoyed it. I see why people want to get away from home, though. I do see that.
A lot of distractions.
Yeah.
What was the first moment when you was like, man, I'm here now. I'm in the Big East. Like, what was that first moment? Like your freshman year, I should say, when you first, like, who was it against? What was that?
So it was so my freshman year, I missed all my freshman year in the tournament, like my rookie year, because I got hurt like 2 weeks before the Big East season started. I broke my right foot before the season started. So I missed all Big East tournament. I mean, all Big East regular season. Everything. I came back the last game of the regular season my freshman year. First game I played in was a Big East semifinals against Villanova. First time I touched the ball, I shot that motherfucker. First shot, 3, bang! You know what I'm saying? And then we lost to Vanson. We lost to y'all in the finals. And that was my freshman year. That was my second game in the Big East play at all. You know what I'm saying? That was my second game. Yep. I remember because I got cleared Louisville game, my last game my freshman year. And coach ain't put me in, so you already know I was tripping. You know what I mean? I was, you don't play me again. Don't even think about, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Like, ever had me suit up and I don't play. You know, that's where I was at, you know? Yeah, and then, that's so my first game was in the Garden. My first real game was in the Garden.
I remember that. That was your 5th metatarsal, right? I think you did the same thing I did to my foot.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, shit.
All three of y'all.
Three of them on here. All three of us.
He did the same thing.
Yeah, got the screw on your foot and all that.
Yeah, shit, wow.
Yeah.
Yo, Chris, so why didn't you redshirt?
I played one too many games to redshirt.
Wow. That's crazy.
Damn.
So you play all the non-conference? All the non-conference?
Yeah, I played every non-conference game. And then, so it's like you got to play like 33% or something like that of the season. And I played right over that.
Damn.
Know? So I was like, fuck it, let's rock. You know what I'm saying? Let's, you know.
You thought about it though?
Oh, you can appeal it and do that.
You would have did it? You would have took.
I didn't think about it. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't even.
John
John Wallace gone. It's about to be my fault. Now I'm dealing with, now it's me and Sap and Free in the backcourt. Like, that's what my mind was like, okay, you know, I'm ready to go. Right? That year's done. You know, I ain't thinking about that. So, I don't know. But yeah, if you're business-wise, you should probably think a little different these days, I guess.
Oh, yeah. It's a lot different nowadays.
It's a lot on that table now.
So looking back, like you said, it was a lot of guards back in our era when we was in college. What was the best part about that? Like going through the preparation of just getting ready for knowing pretty much every night you had a matchup, man. No matter where you was playing, who you was playing against, it was going to be a matchup in the backcourt.
Yeah, you got to stay sharp. I think it made you stay sharp. It made you stay on your toes and it keep you humble. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one thing. Like, one thing about the game, and I appreciate in the Big East, is everybody competed. You know, like competed at a extremely high level, and that's one thing you got to understand. Shit, you gonna play against UConn, and this happened against y'all. That's why y'all used to bust our ass all the time. So what happened was we'll play UConn on Big Monday or whatever hell or Saturday and beat UConn. Cook them up there because we used to punish them. And then we come and play y'all in DC and y'all beat us by 30 on Monday. You know what I'm saying? So, like, damn. So that was a beautiful, you can't really lock in and be focused on, oh, I just did this in this game because the games happen so quick. That, you know, it happens so quick and there's so many. Then we play y'all, then we play in Syracuse, then we play in Cincinnati, who's tough. Everybody like 6'4", 230 over there. You know what I'm saying? Then you playing against, then you think you playing something sweet, you playing against Providence and Marshawn Brooks gets 45. So it's always, every night it was something. Then you go down to South Florida. You already know we're dealing with that beast down there. You know what I'm saying?
He gave us 40.
Yeah, he gave us 40.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know.
I didn't play.
You know,
don't do that.
You know what you was on.
So, you know, that was the thing about the Big East, you know. So you didn't have time to do that. You know, you didn't have the time. UConn got 4 guards. They got AJ Price, they got my man Wiggins, they got Dice, they got Kimber. Then it's coming. Then we playing Pittsburgh. They got all y'all. Like, it's like every game you got to deal with 4 or 5 elite guards. So you got to play your position. Play against Seton Hall. You playing against Pooh and all them, and then it's crazy. It's a lot of dudes out here. You know what I mean? That was the thing about the Big East that I was really, really interested in, and I like the physicality of the Big East. You know what I mean? Because the guys that was there before me was the Randy Foys and the Allen Rays and that era of guards, you know, like Keith Benjamin I was a big fan of Keith Benjamin. And there's a lot of history behind that too, because he's from Mount Vernon. My family from Mount Vernon. So I knew Keith from, so it's a lot of, so I really, I was the Big East. I always liked it, man. It was just a nice style. And I was an AI fan. So you can,
So staying with that, if you can, like you said, you played a lot of guards. Who was the toughest matchup as a guard that you played? Or you can give me your top 3 toughest matchups in the Big East.
Different reasons, you know what I'm saying? Johnny was tough. Yo,
Johnny's
Ben
on
Hansbrough was a
7 too,
problem.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben
Okay.
Hansbrough was a problem.
Mhm.
Get him hurt.
He was nasty. I told you. And
Yeah, he
then
cooked us. Well, down.
yeah, he gave us work too. Yo, Ben Hansbrough was a bucket. And then it's tough, man, because you got different. It's matchups for different things. Like Dominic Jones was tough. That was a tough cover, you know, because of his size, his athleticism, his strength. He was tough, you know. Kimba was tough because they ran everything for Kimba. When Kimba started becoming like, you know,
when AJ
like
left.
he became.
When AJ left.
Yeah, when AJ left, they ran everything through him. If he had the ball, it screens for him. If he didn't have the ball, they screen it for him. You know what I'm saying? So you always dealing with a lot. So that made it tough. But yeah, those three, and then Torrey Jackson was tough too.
Notre Dame?
Yeah, he was tough. He was tough. And then everyone from Pittsburgh was tough. Vance was tough. Ashton was tough. Man, y'all was like y'all gave us serious issues. Y'all was calling out our play sets before we came down the court. I was like, damn. I was like, hey, coach, this shit ain't gonna work. They calling them joints out before we get down the court, man.
So what was you on when you came up to Pittsburgh then? My senior year. You had like 26.
He was violating us.
I told you I was kicking our ass, man, my whole career. Like, you gotta understand. First year I lost in the Big East Finals to y'all. I told you, you took a championship from me. You know what I'm saying? Then the next year, sophomore year, we kind of making a run, beat UConn. Y'all beat the shit out of us at home. When you know, DeJuan played well, it just crushed us. You know what I'm saying? It just crushed us at the beginning of the game. Then y'all beat us again, I think. I think it was again y'all beat us. So y'all beat us at 3 times. Y'all beat us 3 times. And I was like, all right, you know. And it's crazy, that week, I was having a terrible week. I couldn't shoot the ball. You know, I wasn't playing well, you know, stuff happening on campus. You know how that, y'all know how that goes. And then, so we coming up the pit, like I was pissed off and all that. and my man, Coach Prude, that's my dog for real. He took me to the back gym, the little back gym y'all got. Pit, because I couldn't hit the side of a barn and shoot around and all that stuff. He's like, come on, let's get your shit together. Let's just work on your game. You know, just work on your game. I ain't gonna lie, I was ready by the time game time. I was sharp. I was good. And I hit one, and the floor be shaking when we be coming in there. Like it's live. I walked into a 3 in transition, like early in the game. I said, it's on. It's gonna be this a good one. Let me get that thing. Fuck that Princeton offense right now. I gotta put this thing up. Yeah, so that's how it was. But y'all, and I think y'all had like a long streak going on at that time too.
We did. That's the only game I lost at Pittsburgh. That's the only game I lost at Pitt.
I lost that one, and I lost to Ben Hansbrough, who you just mentioned.
Ben Hansbrough, keep playing,
He was killing us. But yeah,
we was on like a 50 game or something like that.
It was rolling at that point. You came in there and you, like you said, you hit some big shots on us. We didn't have no answer. Our guards. Yeah, man. I
was guarding
supposed to be our
Austin.
Stopper. He didn't say.
I was guarding Austin.
Man, always. I don't know who was guarding me for real.
It was Ash. It was Ashton.
I don't know. I felt like Ashton was guarding Jason. I thought about that too. I don't know.
It could have been Brad then. All I know is he put me on Austin. He put me on Austin.
Everybody.
Yeah, it might have been Brad.
He throwing everybody under the.
Everybody but him.
All I know is,
hey, Lee.
Listen, I know.
Everybody but him.
Everybody with himself, right?
This guy's sick, man.
Hey, look.
You gotta stop, man.
We gonna put them highlights up. We gonna put them highlights up.
Man, get them highlights up on Synergy, man. Yo, you said you had said the Princeton offense, Chris. How hard was it being a player like you were, explosive, could get to the basket, could play in isolation situations, to stay within that offense? I know my brother Jesse, who also played with you, you know, I spoke with him about that numerous times. I know how he feels. So how was it for you to, you know, stay within the offense and not, you know, go get yours sometime, even though you know you was more than capable of?
Yeah, so it was tough. It was more like so in high school, I played in a system in high school. That's the thing. Like we ran the flex in high school. You know, and the flex is you know, it's an old school picking and, picking down screen, a very kind of methodical system. Now it evolved and then we had different sets out of it. So I looked at Georgetown in that sense, that style. Like there's a set, but it will have to evolve, And so I fought that. I fought that for 2 years. I would have been gone. If it was like this, I would have been out of there. Like if it's how it is, keep it real. Because I had projections for myself coming into school. So after 1 and 2, I was like, if this ain't where I'm out. But at that time, you know how it is. We had to sit out and all this shit, So yeah, that wasn't going down like that. So I fought it. I wasn't until about my junior year that I really kind of was like, you gotta make a decision what you're gonna do here. Like, how you gonna play this? You gonna figure out the best way to make it work for yourself, or you gotta make a move, And it was a tough spot, but I felt like in the long run, if I played my cards, it would have been the best decision for me. So that's why I stayed.
After your junior year, you was at Darren Williams camp and then LeBron camp.
Yeah.
How was that, like being at those camps, getting to see those, NBA guys and being able to test your game against them?
Well, first, back up to my freshman year, talking about what Vance was talking about, is that year, you gotta remember, my 07 class, all the dudes in my class was going crazy as freshmen. I'm like, stupid. Jared Bayless was going nuts his freshman year. Eric Gordon was going crazy. D. Rose was going crazy. Johnny was going like James Harden was going nuts. We all the same class. Blake Griffin.
07.
The
07 class. The great class.
You know what I'm saying? You seen all these guys and they going crazy. Yeah, I mean, we can talk about it every time. That class,
we don't say nothing about it,
Like, that shit is it's kind of so, when you seeing that was tough because you like I was right at all these youngins. And they throwing up 30 balls on national TV and I'm over here cutting and standing in the corner. You know what I'm saying? So it was just keeping it real. It was tough to deal with. It was tough to like, mentally. It was tough to kind of put that in motion. So yeah, I fought it for a couple years, but then I kind of figured out the ways to kind of make it work for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause it's crazy now, even now, like playing ball, I still use some of the elements of that shit and a lot of things that I do as coaching and just the way I think the game. So yeah, it's, it was a good experience. And playing in the Big East it ain't nothing like that. Ain't nothing like playing in the Big East.
But
that Big East.
But you played against those guys in the camp? Were they all in the camp? Or most of them were gone by the time you went to the
it was all
D. Will camp?
Nah, I mean, yeah, so a D. Will camp it was like who was at D. Will? This is like Avery Bradley, Norris Cole, you had Malcolm Delaney, Mon Shumpert, Sharon Collins. It was some guards in there, you know what I'm saying? It was some real dudes with D. Will. Then yeah, it was, I think I'm trying to think who I'm missing. Durant Scott was in there. Fish was in there. It was a lot of guys, So Isaiah Thomas was there. So I realized that everybody was like, damn, how much you average this year? You know what I'm saying? What's your numbers look like? Go. Like, it was kind of like that, because we weren't able to play that way, so it was refreshing to kind of in the summertime, like, in Kennedy League and all that back in DC, we should try to get 40s, 50s in that joint, like, just because we couldn't do that during the season, like, so, it just give you confirmation that you playing against those guys was just like, you at that level, and it's people still recognize because you get invited, even though you might be not doing what you think you should be doing, Yeah.
Playing in the Garden. Your first Big East game was in the Garden, and most people you see Madison Square Garden. Like for me, I walked in there, I was like, "Yo, I'm in this is like I couldn't imagine playing in there." What was that feeling like for you, being your first Big East game, playing in the Garden?
So the first time I played in there was the Jordan Brand Classic. So like all all that kind of like. I kind of got out right there. That's I'm like, oh shit, that's Walt Frazier jersey, that's Pat jersey. Like, I didn't got all that out. Like, I'm like, damn, the Garden really is an ugly place, to keep it real. The joint stink. You know what I'm saying? Keep it real. That joint nasty. It's stinking there. The locker rooms be the worst locker rooms ever. Like it's trash. So after that, I got that mystique out the window. I was ready to hoop because I hadn't played also. So it was easy for me to like lock in. You know, it's my
Mhm.
first joint. I'm getting on the court. Like I wasn't thinking about nothing else. You know what I'm saying? Like
So all that shit was blocked out.
man, I ain't had none of that shit. And it's dark out there anyway,
Yeah,
so
it's
you
dark
can't
out
really
there.
see out. You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? And I never was one to like, I ain't never play to the crowd. Like I don't never celebrate after buckets or
Mhm.
something happened. Just not my style. I ain't never pay attention to none of that. So that's black. I ain't saying nothing. I'm in the game, you know?
Mhm.
So I didn't pay attention. I never really paid attention to crowds for real.
Wow.
Never.
Where you play,
I don't think I could have did. I wasn't
the way you
multitasking.
play, I would have thought you did.
Nah.
Yeah.
Hell no. I always thought that was difficult to do. Somebody shoot and then go look at the crowd and do all that, but shit going on. Like I just, you know what I mean?
I'm with you. I'm
Worst
with you,
thing
Chris.
is,
Get back on
I'm with you.
defense.
Yeah, if I shoot, I do all that and they throw the ball in my head and then, you know, nah.
I'm with you, but I'll
Sit
tell you
down,
this.
you know, so
I'll tell you this
so I ain't
before the
going.
game, I'm scoping the crowd though.
Oh,
I got to
Yeah.
see what's in the arena. That's all. That was
Oh
me.
no, yeah, come on, man. I ain't Stevie Wonder. I ain't Ray Charles out here. Attention to who's in the building. Like,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna keep it real now. But I'm just saying, I'm locked in though. I'm for real. I can't play to the
in
crowd
between
like
the
that.
lines, yeah, you right. You
Like-
getting to it.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm definitely
Bring focus. I feel it.
see what's going on.
But yeah, I was about to say, this is the NIL podcast, so I got to ask you, you know, with the way the college basketball is now, after your junior year, going into your senior year, you know, like you said, you went to that camp and they was looking at you. How much money would you have been asking for?
I don't know. I think the thing is, the level that I was able to reach as a high school player, I don't think I would have been able to go to Georgetown at that time. You know what I'm saying? So I think things would have been. I don't think they would have had the money at the time. You know,
Uh-huh.
this is a business. We talking real money. We talking the game.
Yeah.
Be real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was a top 20 player, and I was a McDonald's All-American. You ain't getting those right now. Them dudes is going to Arkansas SEC joints, you know, so they going to places like that. It's a whole different type of world, you know, so I wouldn't have been there, I don't think, to start.
That's fair.
I think it would be more like a more Midwest or SEC, you know, you'd have been something different where the money is. You would have went where the money is. So no telling how that, you know, so I really, that's the thing when you think about the NIL. Think about how much money we all would have made in that era, you know, if we was in this
I don't
era.
want to think about it.
Like, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. So when people ask, it's like people even ask now, like, you want to sit on this panel and talk about NIL? I say, you gonna pay me for it?
Word.
Right.
They're like, no. Okay, so you want me to talk about the $5 million that I lost, and you ain't gonna pay me for this right now? No, I'm not doing it. Like,
Yeah, you on my promise.
you know what I mean?
That's
So
what I'm talking about.
yeah, like what you talking about? I can't get none. You can't get none of that. Ain't no reparations coming for none of this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you know, I don't know. I can't answer that. You know, because this era is so different. It's so different, and you can get it from any different minded sources. It's coming from, you know, the money. It doesn't matter. You know, it's the Wild Wild West. You know, it's really chaotic. I don't like it for the purity of the game though. I think it's ruining. It's ruining relationships. You can't do this, what y'all are doing and what we create. You know what I'm saying? We won't be able to have these same conversations 15 years later, 20 years later, because that chemistry ain't gonna be there.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How's it gonna be there? You can't duplicate. This is built over time and experience. You know, and so I think that the connection that you have to a university, that you have to, you know, your roommate from your freshman year, or so and so from this, that, and the third, or the class that, you know, you got the classmate that's always in class with you for the 4 years that you're in school, that you know, that's just cool as shit, is the homie from school. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna have those relationships. You know, so those are things that it's different now. It's different because it's become about money. It's become about business. It was about money then, and it was in a game in a different capacity. But now it's become the main source. So I think it ruins kind of the traditions of what the Big East was. You see what money has done to the Big East. You know, it ruins the traditions of what those, even the ACC, Maryland and Duke. Those games are no longer. You can't see none of that shit no more. They don't do that. You know, they playing Maryland playing USC.
Yeah, Big Ten. It's crazy.
Shit is wild. They playing Michigan and Penn State, so it's a whole different landscape now. So I don't know what the NIL will look like, man. Nobody was going to Michigan State back in the day from the DMV.
No.
But now you got two kids, top prospects going into Michigan State now. Two top kids last year. They freshmen at Michigan State. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where that would have took us. You know, I don't know where that would have landed us.
Yo, just to back.
Hey,
my bad, man. Hold up.
Oh, go ahead.
I gotta backtrack real quick because we definitely skipped some things, but like because we all played, and once you in it, you know the rankings come apart, and I think we all want to be whatever the highest is in high school, which we all know is McDonald's. Like, how was that? Like knowing, like what? I guess was you knowing you was on track to be a McDonald All-American like your junior year, or did it just come out of your senior year? How was that process? And then when you got the news, like just how you felt?
It was very, very, very competitive that time period. Like 2007, that class was crazy competitive. You already knew it was certain guards that was like Derrick Rose was, you know what I'm saying? It was undoubted. Like he was the truth. Like you knew. But then after that, it was a bunch of guys that was top tier, but it's competitive. Even, you know, like Taylor Battle was like that, you know, in high school, and certain guys, you know, so you know, it was, I don't know. I think because of where I was at, being in DMV, you know, playing in the WCAC conference, Morgan Wooten, who was at DeMatha, he's voting on the committee. Then I played for Boo Williams, and I won the Peach Jam. I showed well in good events. And then I averaged 30 my senior year, you know what I'm saying? And then when we played against elite competition, we played on ESPN, I'm scoring 40. You know what I'm saying? And then we play in the Beach Ball Showcase, I'm scoring 50. So every time I had moments where I was competing against people, I played really well. And I think that kind of overall with Boo Wins being on the committee and some a lot of WCAC people being in the committee, it just kind of was I think it was a perfect mix at the time because there's a lot of other people that was deserving of it. You know what I'm saying? But I think mine was kind of solidified because one, I was averaging 31, 32 as a senior. You know what I'm saying? And one of the toughest conference. And then I had one Peach Jam. I had one MVP. I had done it, you know, so I had been every year. I was always competing and doing well. So I think that's how I unfolded.
Who was you closest with on your team at Georgetown? You was talking about, you know, the relationships that were built while you were there. And I don't know if like us, for instance, at Pitt, we all got a group chat and you know what I'm saying, we communicate often. Who are you close with, the closest?
Yeah, we the same way. Like all my guys, we talk. We got a group chat to this day. I mean, me, Greg Monroe, Jason Clark, Austin Freeman, Henry Sims, Aaron Bone. We talk every day. You know, y'all know how that go. You know what I'm saying? We still homies. We talking whatever it is. It's NBA. It's your kids. It's some bullshit. It's this. It's that. It's just the homies. It's your brothers. You know what I mean? Y'all know it's the same thing. So I think all of them.
All of
they
them.
all the homies. We talk whenever thing is going. We talk like we was talking today. We was talking a couple of days ago. We always talking about what's happening. Just talking like we doing like a podcast, but without nobody knowing.
Without nobody,
just being with
right.
shit. It's just kicking it because we created those, and that's something that I'm thinking that you can't. How you gonna be able to do that 20 years from now when you go to 5 different schools?
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, yeah.
Can't build no relationship.
You can't do that.
They ain't gonna be there. You're right though. You're right about that.
No, you can't do that. So yeah, I mean, you know, we all, you know, and then at school, even some guys transfer. Like when I came in, one of my closest guys was Omar Watad. He was in my class too. You know what I'm saying? We had 4 guys come in, me, Free, Omar Watad, he's from Tennessee, and then Nikita Masharikov, from damn, where's Nikita from? He's somewhere over in Eastern Europe. You know what I'm saying? Like Belarus. That's my man though. But I can't remember where he's from though.
I'm the same way. I'm the same way with Gary. I can't remember.
Chill out. You know I'm from Indiana, dog. You from Anderson. You know what's up.
Yeah.
Yo, so Chris,
yeah. So Omar was one of my guys too.
So after college is wrapped up, how was the NBA draft process for you?
So my senior year, I broke my hand with like 8-10 games left in the regular season. You know what I'm saying? We was playing really well at the time. Like we was playing really well. I was playing well and I broke my hand. So I we lost like 9 straight games. Going into the Big East tournament. Now I want to say 9. I think it was like 7 or something like that. We lost like 7 straight. And then we played UConn first round, Big East tournament. That's when Kemba started his run. That was the first game of his run, you know. And then I came back, hands swollen. I came back in the tournament VCU, and we lost to VCU in the tournament. That was my first game. I was supposed to be out for like 3 more weeks. I'm like, fuck it, this is it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going out. And then so after that, after the season was over, I had a real bad sinus infection, and I had 14 workouts, but I couldn't do none of the Portsmouth. I couldn't do none of that. I couldn't do none of that shit. And then they had the draft, and it was NBA lockout. So I ain't get drafted June 25th, and then after so then after that, June 26th, you ain't no going to summer league, ain't no going to mini camps. It was dead from June 26th on to further notice, you know. So that's when it was really you only going overseas, and those numbers was getting real low too, because everybody trying to go right now.
NBA
you know what I'm saying? Like, so that was a time period. That's what it was. It was in a lot of ways. It was a lot of different. I had a lot of different kind of obstacles at the wrong time.
So where was the first place you went?
Turkey. I went to Turkey. I was out in Turkey. Turkey was lit, man. Like I fuck with Turkey. You know, like I like the bump out there, the way they played out there. They played physical out there. They played fast, they aggressive. It was a crazy experience, man. Y'all been overseas. Y'all already know. You know what I mean?
What team was you
we
on
played
Turkey?
against each other both our rookie years. We was out in Turkey.
Yeah.
So we
that shit was wild.
Definitely won. Nah, that team was better. My team was in the bottom. My team was on the bottom, bro. My team, they had won the second. Most teams had like 5. We only had 2 Americans. That tell you everything.
2 Americans, bro. Stop that. Look, you gotta say we had 5.
Everybody had like 4 or 5.
That was back. Listen. We still old, kind of on the older side of things. That's back when they had to keep 3 Turkish players on the court at one time. You see what I'm saying? Like that was the rule. Like you had to keep, you know, those are still rules back then. Now I don't think they do that anymore. But
yeah, they got us. They packed us up. So how was that experience though? How did you like it? Like, you know, was there any culture shock? Like, you know, getting overseas compared, you know what I'm saying, from being in America, it's a little different.
Yeah, that year changed my life for real. You know what I'm saying? Like it was the biggest culture shock of all time. Like first of all, it's an Islamic country. You know what I'm saying? So you don't experience that. That's the first thing you notice. Like the prayers over loudspeakers and just how people. It's just a whole different culture mindset in general. That's the first thing you notice. And then I had this wild coach, man. Coach was crazy. Like shit was wild. So, you know, it was like some rookie hazing type situation where I don't know, it's like the rookie American point guard, you gotta break him down. He got the, you know, he think he coming in here, whatever kind of, you know, there's narrative that's associated with an American guard, especially if you're a black guard. You know what I'm saying? And you got a little game. Like, so it's gotta, and then at that time, yeah, you coming in like, yeah, can't nobody fuck me out here. You know what I'm saying? I'm not coming out here to just be friend. I'm trying to go to the next level. You know what I'm saying? So it was crazy. I got diagnosed with multiple sclerosis that year. That was the year I got diagnosed with MS.
So that happened that year?
It happened my rookie year in Turkey.
In Turkey. Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Turkey. I was paralyzed for about a month. Couldn't walk, couldn't do anything.
So then, that's crazy. So then you get right, but you end up playing again, right?
Not there. So I got diagnosed with MS. I was in the, you know, you got the 2 practices a day. You know what I'm saying? The first practice 10 or whatever. So I came in probably like, in like 9 or whatever, getting ready. I'm on the court, chilling. I'm getting some shots up before practice. And that's when it all started happening. The sensation, numbness, pain, I couldn't feel nothing. And so that was around March. But then so it got worse. Like in the next day or 2, it got worse where I couldn't walk. You know, so I'm giving y'all like a real brief joint, but it got worse where I couldn't walk and all that. And I had to take steroid shots to numb pain and all that before I can get on a flight to come back to DC. I didn't even know what MS was at this time. To keep it real with you, like fuck MS. Like, hold up, who done got me? You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't heard this some new shit because my man said. So the thing about it was that's real too, because the dude was like, he was like, you know, it's over there overseas. So when the names and stuff is different than our names, so he said you have SM. I'm like, yo, what's that? You know what I'm saying? I'm like SM. I don't know that one, you know what I'm saying? And then he said sclerosis multiply. I'm like, nah, I
Still
don't
don't
know
know
what
what
this
that
is. Sclerosis multiply.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Go
was like,
backwards.
nah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What?
Like,
I'd have been
hey,
in it.
hold up. Like, yeah. So then he said, I think you guys in America call it multiple sclerosis. And I was like, okay. I never heard of that as well, you know, and I really didn't know. And then the next thing I did was you go to Google and search it. And at that
Mhm.
time, it's everything, it's all negative connotations associated with MS. It's a death, you can't walk, it's nobody, it's a crippling disease, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like you lose all function in your body. So if anybody didn't know it, anything with MS it's a neurological
Mhm.
um condition. You know what I'm saying? It's basically like the messages in your brain are not getting to the rest of your body. So your foot is right there. You see that, and you want to walk over there, but you just can't move. It becomes like
Mhm.
a drag, or like, you know, or you get some type of like if I'm sitting too long, you know, you sit down a long time, your foot falls asleep, and
It's
you feel
fuck
that
yeah.
like
Yeah.
tingling sensation in your foot. Now imagine that radiating through your body at like a
So that's
pulsating
crazy.
type,
Wow.
you know, and consistently. And when you touch, it's like just like a
Mhm.
vibration.
Mm.
So your nerves is something is off with your nerves, with your nervous
Mhm.
system. You know, that's what happens to me. And those episodes can come anytime.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So you can be on the court and that shit, you start feeling shit, you know?
Damn.
It just yeah. So in a way, that's why they try to say with someone that has multiple sclerosis, it's no shot of you trying to play no type of high level
Mhm.
sport, you know. And there's no one that had done it before me. So that's what happened my rookie year, you know.
Right.
That's how my career started when there wasn't no NBA.
Wow. All that,
Mhm.
then that. So
Crazy, right?
how long were you out after that till you could, you know, obviously get back to even getting on the
Yeah.
court?
Yeah. So I eventually came back home probably like a month later when I was able to I was in a wheelchair, you know, and I was able to kind of get up and walk gingerly off. And I saw like seven doctors. They all was like no. I was like, I ain't
All in
going to
the DC,
use.
Maryland area, Virginia?
Yeah. Yep,
Okay.
yep. And that's one thing I always respect my coach for because he treated me, John Thompson III, he treated me as if I was still a player. So all the medical attention that I can get, he
Mhm.
pushed through, you know what I'm saying? And I was able to see the best doctors I was able to see. So I was blessed, you know, deeper in the game of basketball when I needed some help the
Mhm.
most.
Hey, look.
John Thompson opened those doors to, you know, we gonna treat
Yeah.
whatever he needs, we got it, you know? So, you know, it's always love because of that. And
Mhm.
that was a crazy time period. So a lot of doctors were saying, no, I gotta get spinal tap, I gotta get this type of surgery, you gotta need to change your career. And I don't know. In my mind, I wanted to hoop, man. I wasn't trying
Yeah.
like I'm a hooper.
Mhm.
Like you ain't gonna tell me like I'm not. I was just hooping yesterday. I was good. Running, jumping, and going, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever. How you gonna tell me I can't do this shit no more? Nah.
Right.
Mhm.
You know? And I was a little stubborn, a little bullish on that in the sense like, nah, it's not how I'm going out. This ain't it, you know? And so I finally met with a doctor that was like, you wanna play? Let's play. So we came up with a plan and I've been with her for the last 15
Wow.
years.
Oh,
Beautiful.
that's
That's
what's
what's
up.
up.
That's amazing.
And I never missed a
Oh,
game.
That's what's up, man.
Mhm.
So
So
once
Yeah.
you got back on court, that's what I'm saying. Once you got back on court, what was the process of getting back with a team? You still signed back overseas, right? Or
Right. So that's a good question. So no, so I didn't want to go back overseas with just the different type of like understanding. Like it was a lot of question marks because I'm the first person to ever try to do
Uh-huh.
this.
mhm.
You
Mhm.
know, so there's no blueprint on me how to be successful in this. I kind of got to see trial and error. So I didn't think it made sense for me to go overseas. My doctor's right here. You know what I mean? Let me play this close.
They
Let me try this G League. The NBA is back now, so I can stay. So let me see what can happen with G League and all that. You know what I mean? So first I had to get myself in condition to do that. Like I
Mhm.
had to teach myself how to walk and run and jump, and I had to teach myself how to do
mm.
that again, like completely. You know,
Mhm.
so
How long was that
I was
process of teaching yourself how to get back?
couple
Couple
months.
months.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of trial and error with that. A lot of tripping over your feet and figuring it out, trying to figure out jumping. It's like it was. You know, it was the ultimate battle with myself,
Mhm.
trying to figure out if I can get. And then once I figured it out, you know, I was good. But you just had to get through that hurdle, and it took a couple months. It took a couple months for me to figure that out. And a lot of it did. And then once I did, shit started to come back. You know, your nerves and your movement started to make sense and come back. And then by that time, I got a chance to go to Greg Popovich, Spurs. They had just lost to Miami. Ray Allen hit the shot in game 6, whatever. And then after that, this is maybe 2 weeks later, they all in the gym, the whole team. That shit threw me off. I'm like, damn, they just went through a whole season like this, Game 7 loss in Miami, and they was all in the gym like 2 weeks later.
Back working out?
Yeah, in the gym. Tim Duncan, all of them. Only one that wasn't there was like Tony Parker, but that's because he had national team stuff. But shit, Kawhi Leonard, all of them. Matt, every last one. Manu Ginobili, all of them. He about to go back overseas to do his Argentina stuff. So I was like, damn, you understand why they the Spurs, you know what I'm saying, and why they came back and won the next year. And I worked out in San Antonio, and the workout, I destroyed the workout. You know what I'm saying? I had a great workout. End up playing pickup, and they put me and Tim on the same team because we had won like 3 games against the Spurs, you know, against like Tim Duncan, and it was like Kawhi, Danny Green, and we won like 2 or 3 games against them. There's like, all right, you put him over there and see put him with Tim, and so we started working. We won a bunch of games, so I never forget. And I'm like, this is like the last moment for me, so I'm dogging. I know what it is when I'm walking in the building. For me, like I'm playing against everything. Ain't nobody ever done this, you know what I'm saying? So I can't show nothing. So I was prepared. I was sharp. I was prepared. And I remember after working out, even Tim Duncan, I don't know if y'all noticed, but Tim Duncan's hands is crazy. Like boxing, crazy.
Oh, no, for real?
I ain't know that.
Yo, nah, he'll whoop your ass. What you saw, man? Nah, but think about it. Think about it though. Tim Duncan's reactions to things on court, his hand, he got deflections all the time. He blocked shots, hands, everything, right? He coming in after the workout, after the hour-and-a-half workout, he coming in with his like trainer, his boxer, whatever dude. And they going from sideline to sideline, shadow box, just I'm like, yo. Damn nice. Like follow me. Wow. I'm like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm working through it with him and all that. And then I'm done. I'm drenched. I'm tired. And Greg Popovich walks from the opposite side of the gym and walks straight over to me. And he walks straight over. He said, hey, young man, you a hell of a ball player. You know what I'm saying? Just like they said, you're gonna be all right. And I got 11 offers for training camp the next day.
Tough.
That was my end right there. That's how I got in. I'm talking about you finished a little mini camp on like the Sunday. I was back by the time I'm back home on Monday. That afternoon, hey, the phone has been ringing, Chris. These guys asked you to come to. Oh shit, that San Antonio shit is real. That was like, damn, they really run the league. And if you look around the league, it's all San Antonio Spurs people in every organization. Every organization, all come from Pop. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I got in. And then I ended up going to New Orleans, which would be now like a 2-way deal. You know what I mean? I went to New Orleans with, all right, you're going to play with the Pelicans, whatever, you can make the team, but you with our affiliate team. And that's when you have 4 or 5 teams on one affiliate. And so, yeah, and that's how I go. And I played it out and I went to the team and then I got called up. Like, probably like 5 months or 3 months into the year.
So what was that feeling like once you got that call up? Like, how did you feel?
That shit was crazy. I was getting ready to play. For real, I wasn't even thinking about it for real because we about to play against, that time it was Texas Legends. It was Texas Legends and they was nice. And CDR, Chris Douglas Roberts, at shoot-around, he did some real disrespectful shit, you know what I'm saying, on the home court because he had kind of killed us. And it was cool, it was court disrespectful. Like he did, we go on the court, we had shoot around, kind of walked through our shoot around, talking crazy, talking a little heavy, and, so it was already in their mind, Paul Harris and my team, that's what we, so we was already locked in for that. So my mind, I was thinking like, oh yeah, we gonna have to, it's go time tonight, it was a little disrespect. So I was getting ready for shoot. I'm shooting, working out before the game and all that. Like 10 minutes before my game, 10 minutes before we supposed to get ready, the time on the clock and all that. Then I get my agent, I see I got like, a bunch of missed calls from call me. So I call him back. Half the time, you get a call from your agent and you think, it's some bullshit. For real. So I get a call from him like, yeah, what's up? He said, you did it. I'm like, did what? They called you up. I'm like, who? I'm like, I'm not even thinking about it for real because I'm trying to get ready for these dudes. You know what I mean? And Dallas just called you up. Dallas, I'm like, oh, wait, what? You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, shit, and I was like, all right. And, they'd tell you what you're going to be, congratulations, whatever, you're going to get called back and tell you what to do. And I just turned, hung up the phone. I just sat there.
Like,
And I was like, damn. Called my pops like, yo, I'm about to go to Dallas. And then I went to, and then I was even, and so what's crazy about that is Paul was there and I was about to go play because I still wanted to hoop. I wanted to hoop, and Paul was like, yo, what you doing? I was like, nigga, what? Him and Otheus Jeff is like, man, you better sit out, go change. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't need to be here. Don't come back. Yeah, don't
no
come
freak
back.
injury.
Yeah. So, that's how the call up happened. It was really just a rant. I just sat there. I was like, damn, I really got called up after all this shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's all right.
And that's crazy to think about. So I wanted to ask you, after going through all that what you went through in Turkey, and then you finally get that, what did you learn about yourself when things weren't going your way? What did you learn about yourself that prevailed you to end up getting that call up?
It started at Georgetown too. You gotta fall in love with the product. You gotta be real with this game. And I think that's one thing I always respected about the game. Like I didn't cheat the game. I didn't cheat the process. So when things happen, it wasn't a surprise to me. You know what I mean? Because I'll put that work in. I ain't afraid to put that. I ain't afraid to go in the fire. I'm not afraid to do that. Like I'm cool with being uncomfortable. So I just took it as that. It was just an obstacle. Everybody got different shit they got to go through. You got to deal with that. That's part of life. You got to continue on. You can't stop. You are a man. You got to be productive. And I learned that and understood that at an early age. So I just knew that, all right, this is what I want to do. Just say, just what you want. Go after it. What's the worst that can happen? So I kind of always had that mindset. I guess it's because you're a younger child and all that. You know what I'm saying? You got a brother, so you feel a little braver and all that. You got somebody in front of you. I guess it's that type of complex, but I always kind of felt that way. I never had no fear, nothing like that. So obstacles, I always kind of embraced it, and I never really kind of shot it. So that was my mentality, That was my mentality. I always kind of thought that way. And I think that's that allowed me to keep playing for real.
When you think about your career, would you say that's the moment you're most proud of?
What, getting to the league?
Getting to the league after going through the stuff with MS, like getting hit with a curveball, and then
I guess, so the league it was like this. I got to the league, right? Went to the league and then came back to G League and I had a bunch of deals. Now, what happens after that? That's what people say, ask me always, what happened after? Why you ain't get back in? So I was in. This is what people don't know. I was with Chicago Bulls. You know what I'm saying? I was with the Chicago Bulls. I got my jersey upstairs. Numbers, joint, all that, right? I'm with the Bulls, and it's just crazy. This is the time when D Rose is hurt. So Mike James is there, Booz is there, all of them are there, but D Rose is hurt. And so Tibbs is a coach. We about to go to Rio de Janeiro tomorrow, preseason, right? About to go to Rio de Janeiro. It's like a 15-man roster, something like this, like 11 people, including me, on the team. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, we like him because I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play defense. I'm gonna push the ball. Everything that in that position, what you needed in that role for what they was doing, I understood my role. I was gonna do what I had to do. Getting ready to go. It's a workout the day before we about to go read Rio. So MS, paralyzed, or couldn't move. You know what I'm saying? Everything locked. You know what I mean? So the MS, that was another episode for multiple sclerosis. And so when that happened, I was like, and then so Thibodeau was like, man, we want to, but it was a lot of liability issues. Nobody knew about MS, so we're going to have to release you and all that. Called me into his office and told me all this. And then at that point, I was so frustrated with just the process. I'm like, I did it. I'm good. I got to league. I ain't about to. And then if I get in the league now, because of the stigma, whatever, I'm going to have to sit on the bench, be waving a towel, and then have to wait 45 games in for 45 seconds of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not about to do that.
You ain't
not built like that. I'm not built like that. I'm a hooper. I'm not sitting on the bench. I know I can hoop. Fuck that. And I think that's part of my downfall because I ain't thinking about money and shit like that. I like to hoop. So I just want to do it. I said, I'm good, man. I accomplished it. I'm going to go overseas. I'm going to go bump. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go do what I want to do. You know what I mean? So I made that decision and I'll never look back. That was it. Once I made it and I thought like that, yeah, I thought about coming back and all that, but nah, I'm good. Yeah.
So now, go ahead.
And overseas, it never was an issue again. It never occurred again. It was
Nah, nothing, not to the, it happened again right the year after COVID, like, when they started going back in and we started playing overseas again, like, when we started playing with no fans and all that, it happened again over there because I wasn't on no medicine at that time, and I thought I was okay with not being on no medicine, on the medication I had been playing on for it. So now I have been on one medication, which was a IV injection that I would take once a month. I would take once a month to, and I was able to play, it was all good, Then so when the lockout, no, when COVID happened, I stopped taking medicine. You get to thinking reading shit, and next thing you know, you think you Dr. Sebi and shit, and then
I thought you was good.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm going to all the natural herbalists and this and that and the third. Okay, all that shit, which is good. I'm not knocking it. But if you want to perform at a high level, you need a little, you know what I'm saying? So so that's what happened. And I was feeling good as a person doing everyday things. You know what I'm saying? And just carrying around my, just working, doing things with my kids, or working here, doing shit. I had no issues. I felt normal. When I got back on that court, and I had to go back to playing the way I was playing and playing in high level competition and compete, man, every symptom popped up. Every symptom popped up. So it was like, damn. And every symptom is blurred vision, tingling sensation in your hand, slurred speech, dragging of feet, you trip over your feet for no reason. Sometimes your hands is like kind of like shaking and shit like that. It's a lot of little things, symptoms, which you can, once you understand the condition, that it's neurological. It's your nerves just throwing off senses. So something is off. Something is off. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that shit was whack though. So and then I eventually came back. But yeah, that's how I went though, man. Yeah. So I had a few little issues.
You had a great playing career, and you got to play overseas. You got to play in the NBA now. But I just, now you coaching.
Right.
Well, when I seen you in DC 2 or 3 years ago, me and Brad seen you were coaching high school.
Right.
Now
Right.
you with the AAU. How do you feel about giving back to the kids in the coaching aspect?
Yeah.
Do you love it?
Absolutely. I mean, I think that's it's your responsibility, man. We got too much information. We've been around the game for too long, and so many people have poured into us a lot of positive, memorable things to advance you and what you wanted to do, what I wanted to do in my career. So the only requirement of them, the people that taught me, is you got to get it back to the next kid. You got to be able to, So I took that as this is me, man. I put in my flag in this game a long time ago. I'm a real basketball junkie about this. I'm a purist, when it comes to this shit. So I don't disrespect the game by not giving back. You have to.
Yeah.
And if you can find a way to live off of that and keep it pure, beautiful. But regardless of what you do, it can be, you can just go outside, just go teach some kids, pour your knowledge into some youth and share, because you'll start to see the plan. And that was something that I wanted to do. I didn't want to coach though when I finished playing.
You didn't want to coach.
I didn't. Because everybody was doing that too. So I felt like it was oversaturated. You know what I'm saying? I was like, nah, I don't want to do this. So I actually went to broadcasting first. You know what I'm saying? And I've been broadcasting. That's been what I've been doing for real for the last 3 years. I do broadcasting for the Wizards. I started out doing my podcast like this let me back up a little bit. So I started doing a podcast overseas. I'm gonna start doing a podcast overseas. Now this is good. Y'all got me thinking. So I started doing a podcast overseas because Mac McClung was talking shit about Georgetown.
Oh yeah, I
right?
remember that.
And
I remember that.
I remember Mac McClung?
Yeah.
Right. Tough. Right. So bouncy white boy go to Georgetown. So he go to Georgetown, and then he started talking trash while he transferred because there's no support and all this other stuff. And I was like, damn, youngin, you right. We don't I ain't even going, I'm not even mad at you for saying that. You're absolutely right. Call it spade a spade. We don't, so I was like, let me do something about that. You talking about a brand that I'm a part of. So if anything I'm a part of, I want to do my part to make it look right. And so I said, let me create this podcast. I created Dog Talk. And I started talking to all the Hoyas. I started talking to Jeff, Sapp, Mike Sweetney. You know what I'm saying? I was talking to all of them, Patrick Ewing, all of them on the line, right? And so so I was playing overseas and all. I was still doing it while I was overseas. I did it Monday through Friday while I was playing overseas. And so so I scheduled really doing it like 3:30 p.m. before you go to that 5 o'clock practice. You do it between that 3 and 4 slot. because it's really like what, early in the morning over there, 6 hours behind. So that's how I was doing it. And came back and when I came back, I went to an MS event. I went to an MS event, and the voice of the Wizards radio has MS as well. So I saw him in there. So you know me. First thing I'm like, yo, man, check out my tape. Like, I ain't know what else to say, like, you know, but I knew I gotta figure out something, you know, because I like this and I think I can do something with this. Hold up, it's a little ankle right there, you know. So I said, man, check out my tape, and I felt the best way to come at it. If any kids watch it, don't be asking, can I get a job? Ask for help. Ask for in terms of what do you think? Where can I improve? You know what I'm saying? What do you think I can do? You know, check this out. Give me some pointers or something like that. Because then it gets a conversation going. That's all you want to do. You know what I'm saying? We all, you know, that's all you want to open the door. That's all anybody really wants. Let me show you what I could do, and let me get an opportunity to express my ability. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. If you, okay, you know, but you just want to be able to be respected and hear your opinion and be able to show what you can do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not asking for you to give me nothing. Let me know, you know? So, and that's what I did. And he came back. He was like, yo, you pretty good. And I kept it real on my shit. Like I was cursing. I'm, you know, I'm telling him, man, fuck that, whatever. I'm trying to get none of that shit. You know what I mean? Like I'm going. But you can't tell me nothing. I got my stripes. I'm 4 years in this. You know, I got my degree. You can't. I ain't going nowhere. It's my brand. You feel me? So, and I was going like that because, and so should y'all, because you went through that. You went through this 4 years at Pitt. You went through what, you know, you went through these wars. That's your brand for life. So you can't tell me, and I got to a point where you can't tell me I can't talk about nothing. You can't. You can't disqualify me from nothing. I'm overqualified for this. So, and me talking like that and getting that kind of, he liked it. So look, so he was like, hey man, you should come. You finish playing? I was like, yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't feel like going back. He said, all right, you gonna do a Wizards game with me? You gonna come and check? All right. You know what I'm saying? So he called me into the season. It's like probably 4 or 5 games into the season. This is how I got into broadcasting. And he was like, I want you to come watch. I want you to come watch, check it out. So I came to the joint broadcast. They playing the Celtics. And so I'm like, damn, I'm doing like y'all, you know, we doing on a computer and all that. But you get to the game, NBA shit, they got cold keyboards and shit lined, you know, the whole, you know, it ain't like what we doing. You feel me? Like it ain't like this. No, this is real crazy. Ain't made it better than me, man. Got the headset and shit. Like I ain't had none of that. You know?
I'm trying to get there.
Yeah, son. Like I ain't had no microphone and nothing like that. We just talking through the computer thing. You know what I'm saying?
Like my 2 young boys right here.
I got a mic on. Chill out.
When I get there, he like, yeah, just check it out. So I'm sitting, I'm like, damn. He said, yeah, put the headphones on. And now we back for the rest of the game. Chris Wright will be giving us his analysis, and now it'll be a joy to have. I'm like, oh shit, he just threw me in the mic. Hey Chris, what you think? All right, boom, just roll with it. So it's from the middle of the first quarter to the rest of the game. I did the whole game. You know what I'm saying? And then we had a post-game show, a live post-game show in Capital One Arena. It was Verizon when we played, you know what I'm saying? When we played, y'all played in Verizon, but now it's Capital One. So we did a live post-game show talking about the game, and their whole staff came. And then I'm in the city too, bro. So like when I'm in the city and they say, oh, Chris Wright is gonna be at the live, you know, post-game shit, like Lumpy on the mic, what he doing? So people came, you know what I'm saying? One thing, it was a good little show, and the next thing you know, I started getting paid from there. You know what I mean? The next couple of games, and I've been doing it for 3 years. So that's how I got into it. But coaching was kind of like out of necessity, for real. So my high school, the coach got diagnosed with ALS. And we won the championship that year. And ALS, you know, about that is like, you know, that's real debilitating. Like you know, and so I was thinking that maybe if I was going to coach anywhere, it would be St. John's, my high school, or Georgetown. And it was an opportunity for me to coach at St. John's, and that's how I got into coaching.
Oh, because he stepped down after that, and the St. John's job opened up. Yeah.
John's opened up, and it was, you know, I wasn't a head coach, but you know, I was in it. And I wanted to help out because that's my school. Again, I told you, when shit ain't right with things that's attached to my name, I feel obligated to like, you know what I'm saying? Do what you got to do to help that situation. And that's how I felt about St. John's this time. Like, Georgetown, he talked shit about it. It was like, I agree with you. So let me try to do something to make it look better. Same thing with St. John, my high school, excuse me. So I went over there and coaching and when you start getting into it, even though it drives you crazy, You know what I'm
The love.
saying? It's kind of like it's that drug. It's the
love
closest
is
thing you
there.
can do to being on the court. Yeah, it's that energy that you get from that. And then when you actually telling somebody and being able to translate what you trying to think and see them do what you translating it, actually asking them to do, that's really teaching. That's really building. And that's when you know, oh shit, you might be all right at this. You know, so you know. So that's how I got into coaching. Then I got into training. And it's just kind of figuring out what I want to do. You know, after the game, you're trying to figure out what you want to do. So I just tapped into all the sources that I like. I know I like being around the game. I don't know if I want to coach. I want to have my own business. I have my own business. I'm doing something outside of the court that's kind of being able to let me to be a purist on the court. You know what I'm saying? So I'm able to take care of what I got to do for myself and my family outside of the game of basketball.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which allows me to not be trying to chase no kid down like I need to latch on to you to try to get to here and do X. I ain't doing that. I'm not doing that. It's not how I'm moving. So, you know, it's allowed me to, you know, create this other lane that's allowed me to still be really about the game and not trying to, you know, pimp some of these kids out because that's what everybody doing now.
Well, that's a fact. And that's when DC has a lot of good up and coming kids. Now I don't know everybody's name. I can't keep up. But like you said, my nephew he's playing out there, so I'm watching him and I'm learning. Yeah, he's looking good. He playing well.
Yo, your brother's a nut. Oh my God.
Juan is crazy.
Your brother be going crazy on the sideline. I'm like, yo, Juan is bugging out.
Juan needs to go be a head coach somewhere again. That's
he does. Yeah, he does.
He's locked into basketball. But
yeah.
To DC Assault, what is your team looking like? This gonna be your first year. Do you have kids that you bringing in?
So you know, I can't give out the full plate, but I will say this. I will say so. I coached 8th grade in the winter in the winter season, in the fall winter. You know, like this past year, I've been coaching 8th grade. So I really wasn't even last year. I coached. It's crazy. You talk about your nephew is Corey, right? So who he's in the backcourt with Darius Bivens was my point guard this past.
Oh, for real?
Was my point guard with yeah. So I got hey yo, look Lee, I got a McDonald's All-American under my belt now. You hear me?
You do.
Oh, dang, like that.
Darius went, he McDonald's.
He made McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? So I coached McDonald's PG. You know what I mean? That's right. That's what's up, boy. Yeah. Nah, but nah. So I was familiar. You know, I coached 17s. What was that? That was 17. Yeah, I coached 17s Warriors last year. You know, and you know, I switched up and kind of want to get out of it because at 17 it's like, yo, that's just the real deal, son. Like it's just like these niggas really trying to get deals. They got handlers. They got all type of shit. Like if you're not really in it, you know, if you're not really in it, it's hard to understand what's going on. You know what I mean? It's hard to, but it's a place and it's a necessity for all of y'all at that level. Y'all three on this because you've been through this. You understand this. The people that run it ain't been through it. So that's where the drop off is, you know, so you can't relate. That's why it's important for us to be in this shit. Because we have the experience, you know what you can see certain things because you just got that vision and that experience after the time. It's crazy talking like this because we sound like old heads, but that's the facts. You know,
no, we the old heads now. We the old heads now. We the old heads now. We there.
I accept my position. And I accept my position. I have no problem with it. You know, I have no problem with being someone that did it already and trying to help the next one. So, you know, the coaching thing, that's how this coaching thing came about. Now, fast forward now with DC Assault, I've been coaching 8th grade. Now I'm going back up to 17.
Going back in the fire.
Now you got to deal with those handlers, dudes they want their deals. Yeah.
You got a McDonald All-American. He know how to deal with them now. He know how to deal with them.
Can you tell who's coaching with you? Can you tell us that?
No? So my brother is coaching with me. My brother's coaching with me. My man Chris Douglas, he's the head coach over at Pilates High School.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen Pilates lately, but Pilates is like for Lee and Gary. This is like Pilates is like in between Baltimore and DC. It's like in that transit. You know what I'm saying? They kind of an independent school. Eric Jack went there back in the day.
Eric Jack.
And so it's a private school. They've been all right in the last 15 years or so, but not like they ain't been a powerhouse. But yeah, so he coached over there.
Coach over there the whole time.
He's been there now. You know, remember Pratt? You remember Pratt that's at Spalding? He was over there before that. He was over there for like 3-4 years too.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I think Chris is our age. So Chris is, I think he might be, it's his 3rd or 4th year over there. So him, then my other man. So it's my brother, Chris, and my man Malik that played with me from when we won that championship when we was 10 years old. These are some of our partners from way back when. So I keep it really close.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I keep it, close circle. But yeah, so that's what we coaching. We got a couple guys we trying to recruit, but this area is so it's so crazy. Like
it is.
Like when you really do the math to it and break it down, in a 90-mile radius is 12 different shoe brand teams.
That's crazy.
That's
in 90 miles. Yeah, you like so the level of competition and level of like insanity for these kids, it's like it's crazy. And so it's 12 different shoe brand teams and all of them have clubs. It's not just one team. It's not like, they just got 17. No, they got everybody got a brand, everybody got the whole K through. So it's a whole different philosophy. But what I'm realizing is because we in this shit and we really nice with it, it's a lot of fluff out there, man. It's a lot of fluff. It's a lot of fakers. A lot of fakers. You know what I mean? And that's cool too, but it is what it is.
Might have to restore the order. That's what's up though, man.
Yeah, it's all good, It's all good. I mean, it's part of it too. You don't knock it, don't hate on it. Everybody got to do what they got to do to try to live their life, and But it's ways to go about it that you can be a little bit more professional and
principle.
do things in a manner that's it's principle and it's law and it's order based. I don't think people just get out here and do whatever the hell they want to do, and this shit is wild. That's why we at where we at. That's a whole nother story, but. Ain't no rules, ain't no regulations to this shit. It's NIL. It's the NIL podcast. You know what I mean?
Sir. Put that on the drop.
That's what it
is. So that concludes another episode of the NIL podcast, man. We appreciate our time with you. Our guest, Georgetown legend Chris Wright, my brothers Jermaine Dixon, Gary McGee. We appreciate you, bro. Your time.
Good looks.
Appreciate you.
Your effort, your story, man, and your give back, man, and what you're doing now. Just, navigating through it, man. Like you said, tapping into your different resources, man, making it happen, man. We appreciate you. Keep going, man.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate you.
Thanks for pulling up on us, man, for sure.
Appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir.
Man.
Yeah, appreciate y'all, man. Love what y'all doing, man. It's all love, even though y'all say, I was the boxer with the guys. I'm good, though. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got the upper hand on me, but I'm coming back. Shit, I'm right back. You know what I mean?
Hey, make sure y'all like and subscribe.
Like us.
Yeah, like and subscribe, man.
We appreciate
Show us love.
Chris.
All right, peace,
all
y'all.
right, now.
All right, Chris.
All right.
Son, I told you I had him, man. I did my part on the